Good evening, it's 6 o'clock, July the 1st, 2019. It's time to call this Franklin City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Allen?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Here.
Mr. Blankenship?
Here.
Mr. Eggers?
Here.
Mr. Hugan?
Here.
Mr. Richards?
Here.
And Mr. Wertz.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Wertz, will you say the pledge, or the prayer, please?
Okay. Let's bow our heads. Father, be with our awesome city as we celebrate the 4th of July with the many activities planned for our town and the many military personnel throughout our history, and protect our freedoms. Be with the police and fire departments throughout the holiday weekend and all city employees who provide our many services. And remember our mayor and council as we conduct the fiduciary responsibility for Franklin. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Glad to see we have a good crowd here tonight. We have under announcements, presentations, and public comment. We have several things going on with our police department. Appreciate all you guys being here. And I think the first order of business, we want to do a little something for Carrie, 38 years. And Chief, you want to come up? Chris, anybody else?
All right. Just want to say thank you to Carrie for his 38 years of the Powell Police Department of the City of Franklin. I know as a new police chief, it was nice to be able to go in the department and have that many years of experience to be able to lean on and return to. So, Carrie, I personally appreciate your friendship and all that you've done for the city and everything that you've done for my career. So, appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Kerry has been given his duty weapon. He retired with some other things on Friday. And this is the box here that store all the police business. So, thank you, sir.
So this is a special moment for me also. Carrie and I went to school together. Kids, great school, so congratulations. Love you, brother. He was like that in school too. He's a guy. We played high school football together, by the way. Sure you don't want to say anything?
I'm sure. Chris invited me to stand here while they,
Okay, are we gonna do Adam next?
Yeah.
So okay, Adam, would you come on up? Now, I just want you to know, 38 years from now, this is what you're gonna look like.
cherish that hair.
And chances are, I'm not gonna be here. Get up here for this one, so Adam, come over here, please. Raise your right hand. I, Adam Stram,
I, Adam Stram,
a member of the Franklin, Indiana Police Department,
a member of the Franklin, Indiana Police Department,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
I solemnly swear that I will support the U.S. Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
all my official duties.
all my official duties.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, Mom wants a picture.
Okay, we also have a couple promotions. Carrie when Carrie left, they kind of set off a chain reaction with promotions. Carrie retired as a captain, so. Lieutenant Scott Carter, come up, please. Lieutenant Carter, you have been promoted to captain by Mayor Barnett. Therefore, effective 7/1/2019, you are hereby promoted to the rank of captain and will be recognized at the July 1st, 2019 City Council meeting. Welcome. Thank you.
Carrie, you want to pin this up?
Don't get a workman's comp plan right off the bat.
Good job, Kara.
Okay, Jason DeNicholas. How are you, sir? Sergeant DeNicholas, you have been promoted to the rank of lieutenant. Franklin Police Merit Commission authorized my request for your promotion to lieutenant. Therefore, effective July the 1st, 2019, you are hereby promoted to the rank of lieutenant and will be recognized at the July 1st, 2019 City Council. Congratulations.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Real quick, folks, I just want to say one thing. Again, thanks, Carrie, for his 38 years, but tonight's monumental for the police department. We put together a solid leadership team. We got some new young guys already here. Appreciate having the chief, all the support from the police department that took time out. A lot of these guys are not on duty, and so they show up. That always means a lot. And so there's a lot of representation from every division of the Franklin Police Department. So the citizens of Franklin, we appreciate your support, and we're looking forward to continuing to work with you. Thank you.
The policy, once you come in the doors, you can't leave for any time. I'm just kidding. If anybody wants to leave, you're more than welcome to leave at this time. Chair was good,
Rest for me.
All right, thank you. I think we'll carry on now. Is there any other announcements, presentations, public comments? I think tomorrow, 10 o'clock, just so you know, first phase of the amphitheater, we're going to do a little ceremony, ribbon cutting ceremony at the parking lot that will be open July the 3rd for the fireworks. So everybody's welcome to be there if you can, 10 o'clock. Appreciate it. Hearing no other announcements, presentations, or public comments, we'll move into the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ayers. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll go to old business.
Move to read old business by title only.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wertz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this one is a public hearing for Common Council Budgetary Ordinance number 19-10, an additional appropriation, local road and bridge matching grant fund, capital $281,000, $281,068.68. Clerk Treasurer Jane Rhodes is out. Sharon, you can say what this is, but Carolyn, if you don't mind.
It's money that we received for the 2018 Community Crossings Grant. It was awarded last year, but we actually did not receive it until recently, and we have to appropriate it for this.
Okay. And we did discuss it last meeting, so it is open this time for a public hearing. If anyone in the audience would want to ask any questions about the grant, what we're doing with it, it's paving. Matter of fact, I can tell you part of what we did with it. When we paved Commerce Drive this year and South Street, that's where this money, some of it went to that. So the work's been done, we paid for it, General County reimbursed, I think. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So we need a motion to, we'll close public hearing if nobody wants to ask a question.
Mayor, does that come back to the RDC?
No, this is a general fund, out of our ABH.
This is actually monies that was, this is a matching grant, so we transferred the city's portion also to this fund. And now this is the state's promised portion that we are appropriating. So I believe the projects are complete and we're just waiting to finish paying.
Make a motion to approve budgetary ordinance number 19-10.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hukin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll go into new business.
Move to read new business by title only.
Second.
Second by Mr. Eggers. All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved waiver conflict letter regarding economic development revenue bonds, Otterbein Community Development Director Krista Linke.
Good evening, Krista Linke. Rob is here to help with this tonight, thank goodness. I don't profess to understand the intricacies of all of this arrangement, but this is a request for a waiver on behalf of Dinsmore Law Firm, as they are representing both agencies on the matter of this bond and the city of Franklin. So they've requested the signature of this. And I know there's going to be some questions about what an economic development revenue bond is, and I'm glad to see that Rob is here, so maybe he can help answer those questions. I do have your email in case. He has sent an email to the Economic Development Commission, so this is going to go before the Economic Development Commission next week, next Tuesday, and then I believe it comes to City Council as well for final approvals. But this is something that we partnered with the Franklin United Methodist Home in 2015. They were basically refinancing these economic development revenue bonds, and it requires the whole process for refinancing, and this waiver is just the very first step, and so you'll see a lot more detailed documents at a later date.
Well, we've done methods on it. We did very time, right? Actually, I think we did it one time in 2009. Was that
Last one was in 2015.
that 2015?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. This is not something, I guess what I'm getting at, this ain't something to do with that.
No, it's not. It's just a refinancing of their debt from 2015.
And it doesn't impact us at all, our credit rating or anything like that.
Rob, you're gonna give a quick overview. I can, I guess the important point for tonight is just so you know, none of you have heard this yet, so none of you, there's no homework for you to have done yet, so this has not come up yet in terms of Economic Development Commission or
Right.
City Council. So this is really a preliminary matter. The Methodist Home in Otterbein has hired a bond counsel to help them through this process, and that's an attorney and a big law firm, and they're technically representing the city. Because they're being paid by the Methodist Home, the rules of professional liability require them to advise us of that potential conflict of interest and ask that you waive it. So that's what this request is. And then if you waive that potential conflict of interest, then that bond counsel is going to get in the game, and we'll see him next month. Make a full blown presentation of the project. What's happening is that it's a financing effort on the part of Otterbein, Franklin, but also Otterbein, Ohio. There are multiple entities involved, all nursing homes, and they're refunding in excess of a $50 million debt. The Franklin part of it is about $25 million. All of that's their debt. None of that is the city debt. It's not a general obligation debt. There will be no taxes paid, no right for anybody to raise taxes. It's all, if you would approve it, it would all be paid from their operating revenues.
And there's no liability on behalf of the city for that debt either.
So this is just them refinancing what we've already approved in 15.
Yes,
They're just refinancing.
yes,
Okay. So we're basically starting over.
yes.
And obviously, Rob's reviewing everything at our level in addition to the slew of attorneys that are involved in this deal on a higher level. So.
And your regular city attorney is also in the loop, and she's
Yes.
reviewing everything.
Yes.
So the only request being made tonight is for you to consider waiving the potential conflict of interest that bond counsel has.
And you said this is going to come in front of us in terms of the logistics, like the actual nuts and bolts of the agreement next month or next meeting?
Next month with the ordinance.
So all of the actual documents will go to the Economic Development Commission for a week from tomorrow at their regular meeting, and then once that happens.
So I say next month, we're in July, so I'm sorry, I misspoke. So it could be your next July meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That was the time frame. Since we meet on Tuesday, I can follow that for this board, so it'll be at your July 15th meeting.
I move to approve the conflict of interest waiver and allow the mayor, I assume, to sign on behalf of the council.
Second. So we have a motion and second by Mr. Austin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen. And this next one, introduction only. Common Council Budgetary Ordinance number 19-11, additional appropriation for additional parks projects in amount of $100,000, Park Superintendent Chip Line.
It's only July, Chip.
It's been a while since I've moved to this
And
project.
that's why the number's so big right now, you know.
Yeah. So an opportunity came our way. A couple weeks ago, the Redevelopment Commission offered to sell us the Franklin Auction Barn, what most of us know it as 180 South Jackson Street. The future use of that facility is a good mesh with the current amphitheater park that's getting ready to happen. We plan to use that facility as not only a maintenance facility, but a storage facility for that new facility that's getting ready to come online in a year or two. They agreed to sell us that building for $50,000. I did present that to the park board last week, and they did agree that was a good use of our money, and agreed to pay $50,000 for the building. I'm here tonight to have you appropriate that money. So the total is $100,000. So I have added a couple other things in there because I just want to come once, make it easy. $50,000 is for the actual purchase of the building. The building does require a little bit of renovation because it was an auction market for a lot of years, and you haven't been in there. I encourage you to go by it. It already looks better. We've gutted the inside of the building. It used to have a lot of risers in it where people sat and an auction, auctioneer stand and that kind of stuff. It's already been painted, so if you haven't went by, you can see it already looks different. But the renovation part is about $43,600. I have a breakdown. You probably have it in front of you. Some electrical. We're going to move the electrical up higher just in case the building would happen to flood. I mean, of course, I say if that building's flooding, then we have bigger issues than that. Painting inside and out. You'll see the list on there. And then we did look at replacing the roof of the building, but I didn't have it inspected, and come to find out it probably has about 15 more years of life on the roof, so I did take that part of it out. In the same exact time, we own a facility called the Wonder 5 Center. You know it as the Boys and Girls Club. Their air conditioning just went out. Good timing, right, in the last couple of weeks. So I added that in there too to replace those rooftop units of the Boys and Girls Club too. So you see the overall project cost is about $104,708. We're only asking for $100 because you don't know these intricate details, but the Boys and Girls Club actually pays us the park's fees to use the building through membership fees that they generate from kids. But we'll take those membership fees that they paid over the last couple of years and include that into the project. So we're only asking for $100,000. There's the nice breakdown there.
So with his introduction only, does anybody have any questions for Chip tonight?
You already answered my question. We're now you're going to come up with the extra 5,000.
Already thought of it.
I get something to say. The month of June is terrible. How was it?
At the pool?
Yeah.
Glad you asked. Run the numbers, I knew you'd ask. Last year we made about $139,000 for the month of June, and we made about $116,000 this year. 116. Yeah, so it's down. I will say in the last 7 days we made 40, so it could have been a lot worse than it was. So it's down.
That's good. We'll make it up.
Cool.
Not every year, not every month will be a record-breaking month.
I have to tell people that all the time. Can't break a record every time.
Can't have money all the time.
So I only do it once a year. This is it.
Yeah, right. We'll remember that.
Chip, the Wonder 5 Center, as far as the rest of the facility, I mean, how is it looking as far as the rest of it? I know we had some issues with flooring, stuff that was addressed, we had roof leaks,
Yeah.
water damage, et cetera.
Yeah.
How's it looking right now?
So the floor was replaced after the 2008 flood, so it's actually in really good condition now. Barely looks brand new. The next issue that you're going to see pop up on your radar screen is the roof needs to be replaced. We're probably within a year, maybe two.
Towards what kind of cost is involved in that?
It's going to be costly.
50?
Over 50 probably. So, yeah. It's coming. We're trying to stretch it out as long as we can. We've had several patches done to it. It's a flat rubber roof, so I mean most commercial buildings have flat rubber roofs like that.
How old is that roof?
Older than I've been here, so at least 15 years old. So it's probably more toward 25 years old.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you, Chip. On the agenda, there isn't any other business. So we'll just start with council member comments. Mr. Ask.
I just wish everybody safe and happy. Fourth of July.
Mr. Austin?
Well, congratulations to Carrie, and, it served our community for 38 years. 38 years is a long time to work in one place. I commend him for his service. I've known Carrie for a long time. And I really like it. It seems the morale of the police department has improved dramatically. And, that's really important, I think, for citizens as well as even us sitting up here as well, to see that. Happy 4th of July for everybody. I'm going to be leaving the country. Steve, I will not be here for next week's Economic Development Commission meeting. Krista, I've already told you. If I'm out of the country, I can't be here, so I do apologize in advance. But anyway, that's it.
Well, this is going to be kind of corny, but I'm going to try to pull it off. I've never been known as a person that gets apathetic about things, but occasionally I do kind of just not really pay much attention to what goes on. But my point is, I get excited when I find out that maybe I should have paid a little more attention and see something that kind of inspires me. So that happened here recently, and it had to do with that sign that got that building that got painted on South Main Street. I got blown away by that. And then it makes me think a little bit about what Danny Causey designed last year on Main Street, or on Jefferson Street. But if you haven't seen it, it's on the Brick Oven Pizza building. That is really awesome, because it pretty much depicts what goes on in that building, and I think it's a great upgrade for the south side of town. So if you haven't seen it, check it out, because I was blown away. So, thank you.
Hope to see everybody Wednesday night fireworks.
Nothing additional, sir. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th. Hearing none, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Second by Mr. Austin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye.